and the smoke is on. As the team leader takes his heading in this direction, the remaining jumpers key on his movement. Watch the simultaneous openings as the team leader waves his arms, signaling all the jumpers to open their main parachutes.
The Army
And there you have the high-flying
Army Golden Knights. Let's go.
States Army parachute team, the Golden Knights. Now, as you may have guessed, these jumpers are faced with a unique situation, a traffic jam in the sky. These jumpers must first gain vertical separation to allow for individual approaches to the target area. This is accomplished by pulling down on the front portion of the parachute as they spiral down at speeds in excess of 60 miles per hour. At 1,000 feet, these jumpers will do what is known as a wind penetration check, checking their speed and distance across the ground. They will turn their parachutes with the wind for a downwind lane. It takes a great deal of concentration to land on dead center of our target area. Once on final approach, these jumpers will focus all their concentration to a small black dot located in our orange X. These parachutes are made of a lightweight ripstop nylon with an inherent forward airspeed of 22 miles per hour. The turn left, these jumpers pull down on the left steering line. The turn right, the jumpers pull down on the right steering line. Watch the minor corrections used for this jumper to obtain a beautiful airborne landing. Once again, please direct your attention high overhead, as it would appear that two canopies have become entangled, but that is not the case. These jumpers are actually doing a form of the sport called canopy relative work. With these advanced aerodynamic design of these ram air parachutes, it is possible to fly a parachute right up to the hands of another jumper without adversely affecting its flight characteristics. The top jumper can pull himself down his puffer's lines and even stand on his shoulders. The formation you see here is called a biplane. Unlike freefall, these jumpers can carry a conversation just like you and I standing here on the ground. It is the job of the bottom jumper, who is the navigator, to relay altitude readings to the pilot. Watch closely as these jumpers bring the biplane into the target area. Unlike military jet teams, the United States Army parachute team is comprised of mostly non-commissioned officers. The 89 men and women of the Golden Knights come from various jobs throughout the Army to spend 3 years on one of the 5 major sections of the team. Our administrative support section contains the offices of the command, operations, and the logistics. Each member of the team is a soldier first, highly trained in one of the more than 200 occupational specialties available in today's Army. Through a guaranteed skill training, the soldier today can learn more than 200 diverse skills. If you thought it was difficult to land one parachute in the target area, it is much more difficult to land 2. Listen closely as you hear these jumpers say, "Ready, break," as they land in the target area. The United States Army Parachute Team was formed in 1959 at the home of the airborne, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. At that time, the team consisted of 19 original members. Each were selected to help develop new parachuting techniques, performing live demonstrations in support of Army public relations and recruiting. In 1961, we were designated as the Army's official aerial demonstration unit. 1 year later, we adopted our nickname, the Golden Knights. As the last of the jumpers removed their equipment and donned the distinctive maroon beret of today's modern paratrooper, I would like to introduce the team in order of their appearance. But first, performing the difficult duties of ground control from the Forest Lake, Minnesota, he is an airborne medic with 280 free fall parachute jumps, Staff Sergeant Jake Kirkow. Performing the technical duties of free fall videographer from La Crosse, Wisconsin, he's an airborne communications sergeant with 1,700 free fall parachute jumps, Sergeant First Class Mike Cook. And now for the jumpers. From Rayford, North Carolina, he's an airborne infantryman with 720 free fall parachute jumps, Staff Sergeant Morgan George. From Colorado Springs, Colorado, he's an airborne aviation technician with 1,350 free fall parachute jumps, Specialist Jason Wanger. From Mechanicsville, Maryland, he's an airborne aviation technician with 600 free fall parachute jumps, Sergeant Dusty Gebhardt. From North Dartmouth, Massachusetts, he's an airborne ranger with 1,100 free fall parachute jumps, Sergeant First Class Keith Pierce. From Rochester, Washington, he's an airborne infantryman with 600 free fall parachute jumps, Specialist Nick Grimm. From Minsk, Belarus, he's an airborne aviation technician with 1,500 free fall parachute jumps, Sergeant Alex Berry. And now, leading the Golden Knights in free fall, the team leader of the Gold Demonstration Team. From Vancouver, Washington, he's an airborne communications sergeant with 3,700 free fall parachute jumps, Sergeant First Class Brian Karst. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the Gold Demonstration Team of the 2017 Air Show season. All members of the United States Army Parachute Team, the Golden Knights. And now, in keeping with long-standing Golden Knight tradition, we'd like to